we're going to start off, and this show is about yourself, your journey and yourself. And Alhamdulillah, we met at the lounge.
Yes.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. I'm always there. Yeah.
Mashallah. So it was nice. We were sitting a bit far away from each other, so I didn't get to chat to you for a bit. And I didn't really get to know you or talk to you, but we knew from some friends that they said, "Oh, get Jammal on the show." I said, "Yeah, why not? Of course. Who? There's no restriction for coming on The Real Me. Everyone and anyone is welcome to come." So we're gonna quickly just introduce Michelle. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Mashallah, multitasking, yeah.
Yes.
So. We met a couple of weeks ago. Is this the first time you're meeting Jammal as well?
Yes.
First time,
yeah.
But did you recently follow him or?
Yeah, quite recently actually.
Yeah. So there's a lot to talk about.
We need more than an hour.
Yeah.
I'm just putting that out there because you might have to come back.
Okay.
So I know I'm on the hot seat, but I'm a student today because I'm going to be learning some few things of Jammal as well. Alhamdulillah. So he's a revert. Alhamdulillah. And so going back to, we met a couple of weeks ago at the lounge. I'm going to give a quick shout out to Olsi.
Of course, man. Yeah, it's my brother.
Shout out to Olsi. Mashallah. So he's really
guy,
accommodating, down to earth. I know him from school as well. I'm sure he's listening right now as well.
Inshallah.
So he's the first person. When I came in, he gave me kind of like a VIP, and you know, he's a radio showman, and it's nice of him to do that. So I hope he's listening right now, and it's really nice. He encouraged as well to get you on the show.
Yeah, we're going
to try and get him on the show as well.
Inshallah,
I hope he's listening.
Yeah. We'll drag him away from there for an hour. You know what I mean? It'd be good for him as well.
Yeah. It'd be good. It'd be good, of course. So there's so much to talk about, but we're going to first just introduce you because me and Michelle are going to pop out some questions, and we've got a couple of the sound clips that you sent me.
Yes.
Spoken word. You do spoken word as well, right?
Yeah.
Your profession is you're a barber.
Yes.
You're a barber by profession.
Yeah.
Mashallah. Good. So I want to put you on a spot. If anyone texts in, do you think they can get a discount? Should we make a deal?
Everybody's going to want a discount.
No one's going to call in. I'm not going to read out the number. No one's going to call in. But if they text in or WhatsApp in, let's see. Let's try it. Let's try it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if they do. If we get people texting in, we'll see if we can sort out.
First one to text in, yeah. First one to text in can have a free haircut, full shave, the works.
Wow.
Oh, brilliant! Respect, man.
Yeah,
excellent.
Good.
Good stuff. Oh man. Can I?
Yeah, quickly text.
No, you can't text in.
I know you must.
You can't.
Use another phone. It's okay.
I'll get your phone on you.
It's run out of charge.
That's good.
So alhamdulillah, barber by profession, and we're gonna go straight in, if you don't mind.
No, of course.
Your journey into Islam. How did it go? How did you go about doing it?
So originally, obviously born Christian, stuff like that. So like I used to go to Christian church, and then later on in life, I met some Italian boys I went to school with. So I went into like Catholicism, and then even as a fully grown man after my children were born, I'd still go to a Catholic church. Obviously, like I've always looked for something. I wasn't too sure what I was looking for, but certain things have been fabricated and stuff like that. And even in Catholicism, I was like all good on a Sunday morning, and I felt like a type of release, if you like, yeah. But Sunday night, I'd still be doing the same thing as I was doing Monday to Saturday.
Okay.
You know what I mean, sort of thing. So there was no real sort of guided path for me. You know what I mean? And then back in like about 2009, a brother that I was cutting his hair, we were just talking about like some a thing you used to be able to watch on YouTube called actually I can't remember what it's called.
We'll fill that in later.
Yeah. It'll come back to me in about a month. I'm getting old now. You know what I mean? What's it called? We were talking about this topic, and I asked him a few questions about Islam, and he said to me, "Look, I'll bring you in the Quran." You know what I mean, sort of thing. Yeah. Anyway, so mashallah, the guy did. The next time he came in for a haircut, gave me a Quran. I still have that same book at home. You know what I mean? And I started to read that book, and it's, I don't know if to say this right or not. When I first started to read it, I found beauty in it, but it also scared me.
Okay.
I mean, because it's not like a book I'd read before.
Okay, yeah.
So like, I think it scared me because I've always been a God-fearing man. You know what I mean, if you like. Yeah, no matter what path I was on, always believed in God. You know what I mean, sort of thing. You know, like so. It's so. It's almost like I say to some people, because it's a book of guidance. It's like maybe it's like say road signs. Now we're on 30 mile an hour. Don't exceed 30 mile an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah? 70 miles an hour. Don't exceed 70 miles an hour. Where you're turning is turn right. What you're looking for is the right hand turn. Where you're going to go to is the left hand turn. It's like a book of direction, if you like. You know what I mean? So like, I read it, put it down, read it, put it down, and I bought a couple of other books, like just learning about Islam and the science of Islam. Just little reads here and there. I've always liked books anyway, but like, and I used to actually struggle with sleep, and I don't know what even made me do it. I actually don't even know what made me do it, to be fair. But one night I just like YouTubed like the adhan, yeah, and it was in this video on the adhan that made me think. At some point, I knew that's where I'd be. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I was telling some brothers about this the other night, and I'd probably listen to the adhan maybe 3 times, and I'll be lights out. Okay. You know what I mean, sort of thing. You know, like because it's such a beautiful. You know what I mean? I don't know if someone heard that. How can't you love Islam? I don't know. You know what I mean? You know, like, but and there's this brother in the video, and he's on his knees, and he's wearing white, and he's wearing glasses, and he's got a beautiful beard, mashallah. You know what I mean? And he's making dua, yeah. And like, I looked at him, and I thought, where can I get that? Because he just looked at peace. You know what I mean, sort of thing. And like everyone's probably experienced peace. It might be somewhere laying out under the stars, or you know, in the woods somewhere, and it's very beautiful and peaceful, that sort of thing, scenic peace. But I'm on about like an inner peace, you know what I mean? Like, and I could see that in this guy. It's weird, he wasn't even talking, it was just a picture, you know what I mean, sort of thing, you know, like, but I saw it in him, and I thought, where can I find that? And this was just such an ongoing thing. And you know, when you think, oh, I'll do it tomorrow or whatever sort of thing, you know, like, so and it wasn't for 4 years after that Quran was given to me that I took my shahada, you know what I mean? But so like there's a lot of if there's young listeners out here, if you know, like my life was very different before Islam, very, like, the contrast couldn't be any more different, you know what I mean, sort of thing, you know, like, so I'm very grateful for Islam. It's changed me as a human, and changed maybe the people around me as well, you know what I mean, because I'm not who I was, if you like, you know. So
just without going into a detail, whatever you're comfortable with, what was your life before? Like, what was your life like before?
So I had a very different upbringing, really, to a lot of people. Even I grew up on a council estate, but still, my parents were like, my mother's a beautiful woman, man. Mashallah, I'm so blessed to have a beautiful mother like I've got, and my father was a good man in some respects, you know what I mean, sort of thing. But my father was almost also a very violent man, you know what I mean, sort of thing, you know, like, and paid for that and stuff like that. So, like, childhood stories wouldn't be like, oh, I made a den. My dad would tell me stories of violence, you know what I mean, sort of thing. And I think no matter who your father is, it's just it's a natural instinct to want to be like that guy, because he's like your dad, man, he's your hero. You know what I mean, of course, an influence, yes. And influences can come from parents, it can come from circles, all that sort of thing, you know. And I was definitely heavily influenced by my father. So I started to learn how to box when I was 6, but I'd already started fighting at school from probably the age of 4, and I continued to fight really until I was 38, until I took my shahada. Okay. But also, not just, you know, I was always come from a poor background, so I do stuff to make money, you know, like a lot of other brothers do, you know what I mean, in this community. What's it called? And it takes sometimes such a lot to make you think, hang on, man, you know, like, I don't, where I used to care about money, I don't really care about money anymore, not really. I don't care about if I've got, in fact, at the moment I'm selling all my belongings. Okay. Because I don't want them anymore. Oh, wow. You know what I mean? You know, like, I've not had a television for 7 years. Oh, you know, like, things like that, yeah. So, like, we're led to believe through so much stuff we look at on social media that let's have these, let's have that car, let's have this watch, let's have them shoes. You know know what I mean? Yeah, it's dressed like that, look like that. We've got to have this type of physique. Girls have got to look like this. Boys have got to look like that. You know what I mean? You know, like, and through my lifestyle, you know, I had all that. You know what I mean? Sort of thing, you know, like, and I've written in some of my poetry, I was rich in so many ways, yeah, but I was absolutely poor as you like.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can have all the materialistic things in your life, but if your heart is empty,
Yeah.
and it can be awful, that feeling of emptiness, man, really, you know what I mean, sort of thing, you know, like, and it's actually harder work to be a bad person than it is a good person, you know what I mean, you know, so I used to collect money for people. I used to do sell, obviously, I sell drugs from the age of 14 years old.
Okay.
And you know, in the streets, not because obviously I lived at home, so in the streets I sold them, you know, and for many years, and all sorts of bits and bobs to make naughty money, you know what I mean, like illegal gambling, things like this, you know, like, and all that. But it's such an empty world, you know, like.
Can I cut you in there, because for me, as being born as a Muslim, and Michelle, I want to bring you into this as well. Me being brought into the Islamic religion, for us, like, it's not. I'm sure all Muslims must be thinking this, but they don't know what ham tastes like. They don't know what alcohol
You're really
tastes
going
like.
there with that one, aren't you?
And seriously, and you know,
We've got so many deep stories to
but-
share, and you're
but,
going with
no,
that.
but the thing is, why I'm saying that is because I forgot what I was going to say now. It was a deep question, but the thing is, we don't know what it feels like to actually go to that. So for us, you know, people haram. So we've been kind of led into, you've come into Islam freely.
Yes.
There's a difference. You get people who are born Muslim and they become really close to God, okay, and they are going up and up and up. Alhamdulillah, you come into Islam and you're going up and up and up. There's some Muslims who come into Islam, born in Islam, they say, I wonder what ham tastes like. You know, people talk about pork and pork scratchings and everything. I wonder what alcohol tastes. They're like, you know, for night clubbing and everything. Unfortunately, some Muslims do stray, but they come back. Okay,
Inshallah,
which is a good thing.
yeah.
You know, inshallah, they do that. But obviously, they might have, you know, for them it's nothing. You know, they're like, oh, okay. But what do you feel now, or even the young Muslims listening out there? What do you feel now, looking at your life?
Back
like,
then?
Yeah, like as a Muslim now obviously no alcohol, no, and it's very brave of you. Thank you for actually mentioning about, you know, drugs, and I'm sure that listeners can appreciate you were very honest about that. And like I said to you before, you didn't have to mention it, but it's very, so thank you for being honest about that. And I'm sure we can all respect that you came out so honestly about that. So thank you for sharing that personal thing. But drinking alcohol, night clubbing, I'm not sure if you went night clubbing, you know, eating pork and everything. Do you now look at English people and think, nah?
I would never, and I mean this, you could hold me to gunpoint, yeah, and I swear by Allah, yeah,
Yeah,
I'd never, ever, ever
Yeah.
touch anything
yeah,
like that
yeah.
in my life.
But when you were
Again.
not, when you weren't Muslim before, did you ever feel that Muslims are missing out, or did you say I respect you guys?
No. One of my boys I grew up with, yeah, we used to like DJ together and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
He was a teetotal guy, you know what I mean, yeah, and one of the nicest, funniest fellas I've ever come across in all my life, yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to look at him and I used to think, I don't know why I didn't. I used to be teetotal if I was training.
Yeah.
I mean, sort of thing.
What does teetotal mean?
Like, I don't actually know.
It means you don't
Yeah.
drink at
No,
all.
you don't drink,
Yeah.
like that,
Okay,
you know what I
okay,
mean,
fine.
yeah. But like, yeah, of course, you know, like, because this is such an important factor of life, yeah. The circles,
Yeah,
and this you can relate or put together with anything you want, yeah. But I talked to certain. Like, I've been to the prison a couple of Eids ago, yeah, and I spoke to a couple of brothers there. And the hardest thing to do is separate yourself from them circles. If you're in them circles, you just follow suit.
yeah,
You know what I mean, sort of thing. Yeah? Even though you might think, oh man, wish I hadn't done that last night.
yeah,
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know, like with Islam, like, or with anything, you have either have a long-term pain of regret or a short-term pain of discipline. And that short-term pain of discipline, I mean by walking away from what you're familiar with. You know what I mean? You know, like and turning your phone off to people that you're familiar with.
yeah,
Because in my life, yeah, I had some, and I still have maybe 3 or 4 boys that I keep in touch with, yeah,
yeah.
that are non-Muslim. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if they see me or meet me, they always come to where I go.
Yeah.
I don't go to where they go. I mean, sort of thing, and alhamdulillah, they respect me now and stuff like that. But I mean, obviously, a lot of people walked away from me as well. I mean, because they thought, obviously, Islam's bad. You know what I mean? But that's blind ignorance in a sense, because we only get to see again what we're fed on social media.
Exactly.
I mean, or televisions and things like that. Yeah, we don't get to see the beauty of Islam. I'll be honest with you, I've hugged about 1 million men in my life, when I've greeted someone. But nothing feels like a greeting when I meet another Muslim. You know what I mean? Because I know it's sincere and it's genuine, and we're both on the same field, man. There's nothing I couldn't talk to you about that I would feel less manly about, more manly about. There's no intimidation. It's just a beautiful, beautiful deen and a beautiful gift, to be given. It's a gift, and I mean that,
Which I want to bring you in. You must have some burning questions as well for Jammal.
I'm sitting here in awe of you, actually, because it's just making me reminisce to my own journey.
Oh, cool, yeah. Shouldn't be in awe of me, but thank you.
It's just, I know kind of what passion underlies the brief story that you can tell on air, because, you couldn't share everything in an hour.
No.
So I know that you've experienced so much, and I know you're truly passionate about your faith, as I am. But when you said it was a gift, that's how I feel about my faith. And I've lost people through conversion as well. And I find it quite frustrating at times, and it's really difficult dealing with that frustration for me, because I think we want to pass that gift on to others, and unfortunately we just can't open people's eyes or hearts. Sometimes that's not for us to do that. That's all in Allah's.
His hands.
Yeah.
I always think that if anyone asks me a question about Islam, I'll always be 110% honest. You know what I mean, sort of thing. Yeah. But I don't go out my way. Obviously, I see a lot of people in my shop. A lot of people will ask me, how come your name's Jammal, man? You don't look like a Jammal, you know what I mean, And I'll be like, well, what does Jammal look like then? You know what I mean? Sort of thing, like that, or whatever. And I'll pull the racist card on them a little bit, having a little giggle and stuff, you know what I mean? But, of course, you can take the old saying is you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink it, you know what I mean? And at some point, maybe, something that you showed them, done for them, it might have been the way you spoke to them, and they might reflect on that at some point and think, wow, you know what? I remember when she done that. You know what I mean?
It's even just your clock, the way you are with people.
Yes, of course, yeah.
It's like a little seed, isn't it, that is just planted.
Yeah, I fully agree with that, because I was speaking to a very spiritual brother the other night, Wednesday or Thursday, and I'll be honest with you, I cried in front of him, to be fair, because he was telling stories to me, freely, off his head, you know what I mean, sort of thing, and some beautiful stories, he's a Sufi, he's very calm, man, very what's the word for it? It's without him probably even knowing it, but I was so drawn in.
Like magnetising.
Yes. Yeah, because he's intellectual, he speaks to me on a level, he's relatable, you know what I mean, sort of thing, I'm not looking at some old guy, man, waving a stick at me, you know what I mean, sort of thing, people think elders can be a little bit like this, the guy's similar age to me, you know what I mean, sort of thing, or maybe the same age, you know what I mean, we're around the same age group anyway, but I looked up to him though, you understand, because he's got he's very close with Allah, you know what I mean, and I can feel that, you know what I mean, and it made me think I've not even scratched the surface of Islam, you know what I mean, not even if you drag the spade across the top of the ground and the heat had been on that mud for 12 months, nothing would come off, would it? I mean, as hard as you scraped, you wouldn't get that mud off the floor. And that's exactly how I felt, I'd literally not even touched the surface of Islam, man. It's a beautiful thing to I'd love to have that.
Do you feel like you've been opened emotionally and your sensitivity's been heightened since?
Massively, yeah. I used to shoot and fish and things like that. I watch certain things, if something comes up on my Instagram fishing, and I feel, this might sound silly, but I feel an element of guilt. You You know what I mean? You know, like, I know we have to catch fish if we want to eat the fish.
Yeah.
But to catch the fish just for sport, I feel very guilty about that.
Yeah.
It's weird. You know what I mean? You know, like, and I'd never done that before.
How has that been for you? Because you strike me as the kind of guy that was quite tough and strong, and, you know, since converting, if that's affected you emotionally, how have you dealt with that personally?
That
change,
I still struggle, if I'm honest. You know, like, I think we all have our own tests. You know what I mean? And one of my tests is definitely temperament. You know what I mean? As a man, you know what I mean, sort of thing. You know, like, I still fall very, very short in that. And I think that's another reason why I loved that guy I spoke to the other night, man. It was just the calmness in him was just beautiful, you know what I mean? You know, like, and I want that for myself. I want that for everyone. If everyone had that brother's calmness, this world would be a different world. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like, because if you imagine every time you spoke to someone, it would be that you're getting back.
Yeah.
Mashallah, man, that'd be a phenomenal.
Wow.
You know, phenomenal. You know, because we wouldn't have. This is what another thing about Islam. Yeah, the brothers that I first come in contact with, 3 in particular, what's it called? And there was no conversation like that. There was no bad conversation. Everything was life, deen, friendship. You know what I mean? You know, like, have you all prayed Maghrib? Have you all prayed Isha? Let's go pray there. You in wudu? You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, like, and then it's just, there's nothing like that. There's no intimidation. There's no, like, front you have to put up. It's just a very, very, very accepting. I mean, look at me. You know, like, not just because I'm Gura. You know what I mean? But like, you know, look at me. You know what I mean? You know, like, if Islam or Allah can accept someone that's come from my background, looks like me, you know, like, then this can be for everybody that walks this earth. You know what I mean? You know, like, you just got to see that or have something spark that in you to make you do it. You know what I mean?
I've got chills, literally. It's just,
it's just amazing.
So,
like, I mean, obviously, it's the first time I've actually spoken to you at this level and got to know you a bit more. But you just see the genuinity and the, you know, the humbleness and such a. It's like it's a lesson for me. You know, this is what kind of people we like to be around, is positivity and, you know, being a bit real. You know, the trust is in there, is kicking in. All these elements are coming in, the trust and the honesty and, you know, the realness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On the real me. You know what I mean? It's talking about your personal experience. And I think we mentioned this before, some people don't feel comfortable coming out. But alhamdulillah, you know, especially coming on radio is such a brave thing to do and really nice of you to do as well. And coming and talking, I mean, a lot of people can relate to it. One of my friends said to me the other day when I told him about the show, he goes to me, "Don't stop." He goes, "Don't stop the show." I said to him, you know, are people actually listening? Do they gain from it? You know, I even told you, is there a need for it? He goes to me, people won't say it. But there's people out there are listening. Yeah. And I'm glad if they are listening.
I think people want a slice of real life, you know, when we look at social media and, you know, you mentioned this before, that everything's perfect and, you know, all these wonderful things that we've got to buy and that we're paraded on the TV and social media with. Yeah. And actually people are craving for a realness because, you know, deep down, we're not like that. We're not chasing all that material life. We want some, you know, connection and we want some authenticity out of life. So
it's amazing how Jammal mentioned about you had everything, you had so much stuff materialistic, but the inner peace was not there. And we touched on this. Me and Michelle touched on loneliness last week as a topic, and we said that you may be in a room full of people, but you will still feel lonely. You know what I mean? And physically that's not possible, but you can't feel. But exactly, it's the sukoon, you know, it's the peace. You cannot get the peace. And it's amazing. We'll touch upon that afterwards as well, after the break. We're going to go in break in about 45 seconds. Another interesting thing that I mentioned about yourself is you do spoken word, and inshallah we'll try and play a couple of clips.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, inshallah. So again, the offer is on if anyone's listening live. You know, Jammal's offered a free haircut and shave. So if you do want to take the opportunity to be the first one, you can text or WhatsApp on 07745 278 978, I will try and not block your number because I actually truly want that. But I will speak to Michelle about that afterwards in the break time. Trying to avoid all the texts coming in.
Of course, yeah. Turn it off.
But inshallah, I'll see you after the break. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.
You're listening to Salam Radio, and it's now time for Isha Azan. This Azan is sponsored by UK Islamic Mission, serving humanity since 1962.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا
الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته. اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم بك نحيا وبك نموت وإليك المصير. رضينا بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله.
This Azan is sponsored by UK Islamic Mission, serving humanity since 1962.
My name is Khalid Sadiq.
I'm Saif Adam.
Assalamu alaikum, this is Baraka Blue.
Yo, 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 this is your boy Harris J, and make sure you guys stay tuned to Salam Radio 106.2 FM.
Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the show, The Real Me, with my special guest today, Brother Jammal Ud-Din. So on the break, I think we had some really good things to gonna point about. What should we start on first? Because we had some good pointers and
Well, it's entirely up to
I think we should kick off with some spoken word.
Spoken
I'm
word.
really
Okay, fine.
excited
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
right. So
then
we're
we
going
can
to go
discuss
into
a little bit.
brilliant. We're going to go to some spoken word that Jammal's done. So I'm just going to play. Is it just straight away play? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. So this is the first track. It's called "I Lost God and I Found God."
I lost God and I found God. God lost me, but God found me. Where in the world would I rather be? In the house of Allah, all praise be. As I pour out my heart in solace find, He knows in advance what's on my mind. He knows my hardships and my daily grind. I trust Him that whatever He gives or whatever He takes, He's the king without a crown and He makes no mistakes. And when my heart breaks, He knows. And my heart yearns, He shows. My heart beats and He gave. My heart stops, yeah, that's my grave. Can you really deny what's been handed? No doubts, my heart's been branded. I make dua, I'm grateful and I'm grounded. The love of this deen, I'm surrounded. Cause I lost God, yeah, and I found God. God lost me, but God found me. And at times it's easy to lose track. Every time He's got your back. So long as we all come back, even when our clouds are black. It's easy to wait till just before the window closes. It's hard to pray on time, cause He knows this. Every good intention He's noticed, amongst others or even in the remotest. Your heart beats Imam, He'll keep you closest. And I lost God, I found God. And God lost me, but God found me. And even in my deepest despair, as I prostrate, goosebumps my hair. In sujood I lay bare, my forehead touches and my prayers share. For even when I feel lost, He's got me no matter the cost. And my heart knows, and His love shows. And my heart tells, and His love grows. For I am just a servant of the one Allah. Each and every moment, Alhamdulillah. Islam is peace, Salah is my release. His mercy never cease. Cause I lost God, yeah, and I found God. God lost me, but God found me.
MashaAllah, that was a great track. And we're going to go on to the second track as well. And before we can actually start talking, so we're going to play the second track as well.
Look at you, look at me, look at us, who are we? As a human, we have obligations in order to save our creations. Community got more marks than Dalmatians. With drastic measures, all losing salvation. Chaotic days in every single nation. We shouldn't rest, we need to take actions. The future lays in the hands of our youths. I speak out loud of the inevitable truths. Nothing will change, but only ourselves. Can't leave it alone, man, at the top of our shelves. It will gather dust and be harder to clean. Immediately approached, not left to be seen. We all talk a good game, but I'm living proof. My words are never fiction and I only speak the truth. I lived a life of violence and committed many crimes. I've been a heartbeat away from being sent away for time, but I'm here now, and I wait, pause and reflect on our city, our borough that's laced in neglect. These aren't skills that we can magically perfect, but little by little we can only try to correct. Prostitution and drugs, thieves and thugs, it's only you that can pull out that rug. And if you don't change your outlook, how can we see change? We all can make a difference, cause everything is in range. Look at you, and look at me, man, look at us. Who are we? I need to clarify and be totally clear. I only want goodness when my words penetrate your ear. I only want to see the unity in the footsteps of this community. I only want to see ease in the hardships of our unity. Find an approach that's relatable, not brutality. These are just dreams, man, but let's make them our reality. Let's create together instead of too many cooks creating a calamity. With faith first and each problem next, we as a community can change some defects, man, cause look at you, and look at me, look at us, man, and who are we?
Wow.
MashaAllah, that was really nice. I was actually making some notes to ask Brother Jammal once I get this chance.
I was just lost in that.
Yeah, that was really good, wasn't it? It was really nice.
Yeah, it's really emotional.
So many things that I want to ask your perspective, if you don't mind.
Of course.
So I'm going to be a bit selfish. I'm going to crack on. Is that all right?
No.
Yeah.
I'm falling apart here. Carry on.
So you mentioned you mentioned some like key words in there. As you guys probably thought I was texting my wife, weren't you? Like, texting my wife. I was actually making notes.
Texting for that haircut.
Yeah, don't send me tomorrow, Zainab. I'm going for a haircut tomorrow. Yeah, the first question was really, really interesting. What you mentioned, you said that God lost me and then found me. What did you mean?
So I mean, obviously, like God can never lose anyone. But God lost me because I'd lost God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, like, He lost me because I'd gone whatever direction I've gone in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But not the right direction. You know, so at times, you know, God's lost me, but then when God's found me again, subhanAllah, there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's actually when you come back, you realise that Allah's never left you, and then that makes you all the emotions flow as well, doesn't it? Because you realise it's you.
Yeah, and when you ask for forgiveness, you say it with such sincerity and passion. Nothing.
I want to bring something in. I've mentioned in the show before. I want to see your perspective on this. Is that handling trials and tribulations, and I want to connect this with Salah as well. I was talking to a young guy just a couple of days ago, and we're talking about Salah. Sometimes we go through some bitter phases in life, some trials and tribulations, beyond which we think we can't handle. We can actually. I was watching a motivation video. I mentioned in one of the shows, I was watching a motivational video, and it said it's hard to kill the soul. It's hard because Allah's made us like that. But sometimes I think stubbornness, misunderstanding, what angle we look at in life, and I've always said this to some friends as well, is that sometimes I feel that after talking to someone for a few minutes, your angle of life completely changes 360 degrees. It's amazing. That's why, in the shows before I've mentioned and I've promoted talking to people, because you'll be surprised what the other person actually thinks. What I think of as bad, I might say to you, Jammal, this and this happened, and you might look at a different perspective, like genuinely, and I'm like, bro, you burst my bubble, man. I wanted to have a rant, and you're saying to me, say Alhamdulillah, but I'm just in awe, So when you say God lost me, sometimes people want to be lost. They've had enough. They give up, and I know that in Islam it's haram to lose hope. But with that difficulty, let's connect that to namaz. A young boy comes to you off the street and says to you and I think he can relate to you because you've come into Islam. He's born with Islam, but he says to you, bro, I don't pray namaz. And people say that to me as well. I don't pray namaz. Life's too hard, man. Life is really hard. I've gone through crap. Excuse my language. Family, work, friends. I've gone through it all. I've not done nothing wrong. Why is it coming to me? And why are you telling me to pray namaz? Why should I pray namaz? Why should I even say Alhamdulillah? I don't want to say Alhamdulillah. I'm going through this difficulty. What would you say to that? How can you relate?
I would say, I think 99.9% of people have probably had that thought cross their mind, and we're all sent like tests, and they could be. I could be given £1 million tomorrow, yeah, and subhanallah, I've got £1 million.
Yeah.
But what will I do with that £1 million?
Yeah.
How will I live my life now? I mean, yeah. When things are good, you know, it's very easy to think, don't matter. You know what I mean? And when things are bad, it's very good, easy, so I say, to blame someone or blame something, or you know, think you're the afflicted one, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, but I think we're all afflicted. We're all put. It's all put on us at some point. Something or some things. It could come in mountains of things. You know what I mean? Yeah. And our minds are the first thing to break, more than our soul. Like you said just now, your soul. Yeah. It's our mind that would tell us, like, give in. You know what I mean? Not our body. Not here. It's our mind. Our mind can break us down very, very quickly. You know what I mean? And the mind can get broken down very quickly as well. You know, I've known men that are proper men, and something's happened and it's changed their whole mental health issues. You know, like, I've written lots of things about mental health. I'm not I don't speak openly about it, to be fair, but I write things. But I'd also, if you know me, I would never write anything about something I don't know anything about. I can't just magic something up, man. You know what I mean? I don't think you'll get that same feel for something. But if this brother come to me and said, you know, like, this is bad, I would suggest to him, man, that to find his deen again, you know, like, and surround himself with, because this is another thing, you know, like, again, circles, man. Surround yourself with brothers that are going to help you pray. You know what I mean? You know, like, someone that's going to say, you know, it's Zuhr, it's Asr, let's go and pray. You know what I mean? You know, like, don't care if it's in the mosque, man. Do it outside on the road if you want, wherever, but you're going to pray to Allah. You know, and you find comfort in that, you know, like, there'll be huge comforts to be taken from Salah, you know, like, and then once you understand a little bit more that obviously in the Quran it says, you know, like, Allah will never test you with something that he doesn't think you're capable with, capable of, should I say, you know, like, I think I don't know this, so I can't give an exact account of what's going on there, but people used to come to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and say to him, look, man, I want to be an accountant, let's say, for instance, yeah, but the Prophet would know, you know, he's no good at counting. You know what I mean? But he's really good at working on a market stall. I mean, and they say, look, what I want from you, I want you to go and do this. This is what you're good at. And delegate them things, because they're not meant for you. You know what I mean? Yeah? You know, like, so if you're lost, you know, obviously, like, and if you're lost in a place where you're feeling depressed, then, you know, Salah, and obviously seek some medical help. You know what I mean? You know, because some of it's just an imbalance maybe, or, you know.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much. Did you want to say anything before I go to my next question about the tracks?
Have you got lots of questions?
I've got burning questions here.
You know, go ahead, you're fine.
Yeah. So you mentioned about, we touched on hardships and that. What I want to bring in is, we were just talking at break as well about as a man, as a family man as well, keeping that balance. Because, you know, when you were talking about keeping with the brothers, and I think it's something that it's important, and I think it's something that actually goes on nowadays. I think this applies for both men and women. I think for husband and wives to keep a balance. The ladies should go out sometimes when they can, to go out, meet their friends, you know, talk, enjoy, have a chat, do activities, whatever. And even the guys as well, they need some time from family as well, you know, from to kind of go out and, you know, have a breath of fresh air, speak to the brothers, speak about stuff. And it's nice, you know, when you're with some brothers, you kind of feel like, you know, but, you know, batteries charged up and you go back home and you're feeling good again. And I think it's that balance that you should keep. Spend some time with the children, spend some time with the spouse, spend some time with parents, you know, grandparents and community members. Have some time for friends, because that's what really keeps you going. And like we said, influence as well. I think that track was really, really nice, both the tracks. I was listening to it carefully, and it's really, really good. And you mentioned a massive thing, okay? I think we underestimate intention, our intention.
Yeah.
Sometimes we judge people and we don't realize what their intention is. It comes across so wrong. But I'll tell you something, if you don't mind me mentioning. From looking at you physically, we can see you've got tattoos. Okay, I mentioned in the show before. I asked my dad Dad, what do you think about tattoos? You know, because at one point I was like, wow, that tattoo looks really good. You know, community members. I mean, culturally, parents might say no, which is fine. It's understandable, but I think the portrayal. I mean, you've got some nice ones on your. You got some on your hands. You got some on your face as well. What was your? Sometimes when I look at a tattoo, I feel as if it's like a breaking free, showing my message through that.
Yeah. That's what I see when I look at Jammal. I see his story.
His story, exactly.
Written on his body, on his physical body.
Exactly.
So to me, that's a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
like coming from my perspective, because I think, wow, you know, you've maybe had words that you've not been able to communicate or share, but you've actually shared them in pictures on yourself. And it's funny, isn't it? Because we tend to, as a society, look at people and judge people from their physicality.
Yes.
And majority of times reverts don't kind of fit in the good Muslim category, or you know what looks like a good Muslim. And I'm assuming that you've had experience with that you
course,
feel like you don't fit in, maybe.
Of course, sometimes, yeah, definitely. You know, even when I was in I went to Umrah, alhamdulillah, I went to Umrah in 2014 with Suja Tours. Yes, baby. What's it called? Yeah, man, I met with lots of negativity, lots of positivity.
Okay.
I mean, but like people were videoing me, taking pictures of me, trying to rub stuff off me as if to say, like, what is that? I mean, like, look at me as if to say, like,
oh my God,
hang on, man, like, when was the last time we had a wash?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, you know, like, but that's.
You should have told them, don't touch it, it'll stick on you.
You know, like, but, and then I remember actually the first masjid I went into, I won't say where, but I took my shoes off, obviously, because I knew, you know what I mean, and from what I'd read, if you like, and I went into this masjid and I had a little walk around, beautiful mashallah, beautiful inside, and what's it called, as I was leaving, I put my shoes on, some older uncle, like proper, you know, like big long white beard, cane. I mean, I thought he was going to whoop my butt with it, but what's it called, he was like, what are you doing in here? Questioning me.
Are you lost?
Yeah, you lost.
That's what I've been asked before. Are you lost?
Yeah, you know, like, in fact, actually, I went into a masjid in Birmingham, and it's a wicked place, actually, because when you walk through the first corridor, it's got like badminton courts, table tennis, there's kids in there playing, blah, blah, go through doors on the left, and there's area for salah, big masjid. I mean, not purpose built, an old building that they've converted into this. Anyway, and I didn't see there was like a secretary desk on the right hand side. So I just like bowled straight in. You know what I mean, sort of thing. I said to this brother, "Excuse me, brother, whereabouts can I pray?" Like, and I just travelled there. You know what I mean? I know you don't have to. You know what I mean, or whatever. And I wasn't on time for Jammal, but I was obviously on time for myself in this prayer window. Anyway, and the old guy of security come running out. It's like, what's up, mate? That sort of thing, And I'm like, Assalamu alaikum, bro. Like, Assalamu alaikum, bro. He said, what are you looking for? So I'm looking for somewhere to pray. What for? Back to me, I was like, because I missed Zuhr. And he's like, yeah, but like, are you Muslim then? Back to me, I just give him salams as well, but I was like,
and
man.
Sometimes don't reply. It's funny, isn't it? It's like, oh, we're not going to give reply.
I was like, I get that a lot. You know what I mean? Because they look at me like, what? You know what I mean? Is he trying to trick me? What's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, but I was like, yeah, of course, bro. You know, last time I checked, man, I'm Muslim, right? And I think then it registered to him what he'd said himself, and he started to laugh. You know what I mean? You know, like, alhamdulillah, man. He said, like, it's come through, bro. It's just through here. You know what I mean? But yeah, of course, first initial thing, you know, is like, it's going to be like that, isn't it? You know what I mean?
I used to call myself, and I've told Mohammad Abbas before, I used to call myself the car park Muslima, because I just used to sit in the car park in my car and was frightened to go in.
Inside,
how was your confidence with that? Did you find first time doing everything that was new to you quite hard?
I'll be honest with you, the moment of me knowing full well that Islam was nothing but the thing for me was before I reverted to Islam. I was taken to Fazal Medina by the brother that guided me, Abdul Aziz. People know him as Judge, maybe from old days. What's it called? And we sat and we done wudu together, and then I followed that, and we were doing wudu during the call to prayer, and then I stood in congregation with these brothers. I just copied actions, and when my head hit that carpet, I went into sujood. I swear that was I fell in love with Islam then. I'd never felt that peace, man, from my head touching the floor. And even now, like, obviously I'm on radio, I can't really show you, but like, I want to like the carpet, man. I want to climb in. I want to climb into that prayer mat.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I don't ever want to get out of there, really,
Mashallah.
sometimes. You know what I mean?
It's amazing to hear. It just
It
gives
is
you so much encouragement to, you know, to actually become closer to God. Whatever stage you're at, to go into sujood and say, Ya Allah, help me. Because He's waiting for you, isn't it?
He's craving for you, actually.
Exactly. Yeah, amazing.
know?
We've actually got
Yeah.
someone text in.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we've got someone text in. He says, Assalamu alaikum, mashallah, what an inspiration guest you have on. One question for the brother. What would he say the one thing was that turned him back to God after all the time? And what would he recommend others to do to become more God conscious? So the first question is, what would you say is the one thing that turned him back to God after all that time? Or were you God conscious all the way?
What, throughout my life?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're God conscious.
I'm God conscious all the time.
What
yeah.
portrayal changed when you turned to Islam? What portrayal did you have of God when you turned to Islam? Or is it that you just become closer to Him?
No. Like, for me to choose Islam,
Yeah.
I could have,
Yeah.
something happened to me on a particular day, we'll save it for another day, yeah?
Yeah.
And I could have gone anywhere,
Yeah.
or gone nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, yeah? But I knew it was Islam.
Yeah.
I just knew, I don't know, like, and I've got no, obviously I love Christians, everyone, you know what I mean, sort of thing, yeah? But
Yeah.
when you read the Quran, or you read books about Islam, you know, like, there's no, you can't deny what's right there, you know what I mean, yeah? You can't deny what's given to us, you know what I mean, yeah? And obviously Allah has given us that, you know what I mean? God has given us everything we have, man, whether it's good, bad, ugly or beautiful, whichever, you know what I mean, sort of thing, you know, like, I was empty. I was empty, man, and that's the truth, you know, like, I didn't really care about, I cared about my family, obviously I love my family, you know what I mean, and at that point I would have done anything for the boys I was with as well, yeah, but I didn't really care about anyone else.
Yeah.
I didn't care too much about myself,
Yeah.
not really, I hadn't done for many years, you know what I mean, sort of thing, you know, like, so I lacked that, but yeah, God is how I found that, I just knew Islam would be for me. You know, literally the next morning, on the Monday morning, I rang a brother, and his father was the first Imam Peterborough, actually. And what's it called? I was like, bro, I need some help. I need to meet someone to guide me. And definitely, like, you know, the people you're with will take you back that way.
Mashallah.
I'm so intrigued, and we have to have Brother Jammal back.
Inshallah, definitely.
We need extra time,
Definitely.
but for me it was very much like I hadn't researched the rules and the regulations. I hadn't read Quran. It was just something awoke inside me and brought me to Islam, and I had a few experiences as well, which was just amazing and poignant. Was that the same for you? Did you just have this knowing inside and this awakening as part of your journey, or did you do a lot of research first and then come to it?
No, I'll be honest with you, like, I've written in some of my early poetry, like, sort of thing, yeah, that I've been, like, tapped on my shoulder a million times, man. Maybe like someone saying, like, you know, like your mum, come away from there, you know what I mean, don't go near the fire, like that sort of thing, you know, like, and it's like that, yeah. And then that morning, I just knew I've been tapped on, I've saying my lyrics, man, I've been tapped on my shoulder a million times, and that day I turned round and it's Allah that has been tapping on my shoulder, man, this way, man, stay away from that, you know what I mean, stay away from that. I've experienced so many things that are like, should have put me somewhere else, and alhamdulillah, man, I've not been there, you know what I mean. I could have easily gone one way, and for whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean. I know now, no doubt that Allah has saved me from so many things in my life, so many things.
And actually you've gone through a journey of loss as well, haven't you? So you've lost people close to you as well throughout this journey, and it still kept you strong and on the path. How have you managed to deal with that, with the loss of the physical people around you?
I think that for me and for anyone out there, yeah, and if you pray 5 times a day, or you don't pray 5 times a day, sorry, remember, 1 minute left, okay, what's it called? So if you pray 5 times a day, you don't pray 5 times a day, it doesn't matter. It does matter, obviously, but what I'm trying to say to you is, no matter what, in my heart, I am Muslim, and I don't care if I've got 1 million friends or one. I'm Muslim, man. Allah's my friend.
Mashallah.
Alhamdulillah. You know what I mean?
Amazing. Sorry for cutting you guys off.
That's okay.
It's amazing, inshallah. We will have Brother Jammal coming on for another show, inshallah. We have got a question. We'll save it for next time. We've got a question come through WhatsApp, so thank you for that question. But inshallah, we'll address it next time. 20 seconds left. Thank you for joining. But
thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much for coming.
Inshallah, both of you for inviting me, man.
You'll be coming again, inshallah, as well. But do follow Brother Jammal on Instagram as well, and do pop into his shop, inshallah. So see you next week, same time, same place. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.
Stay tuned to Salam Radio after this short ad break.
Had a car accident or an accident at work? Accident specialists are experts in no-win, no-fee accident claims. Leave the hassle to us. Our multilingual settlement experts will manage the entire claims process on your behalf, with nothing to pay up front. We provide services such as credit hire,